YouTube, what's going on? It's Juangotti here with another live stream. Here for the weekly live stream. Let's get some people up in here and talk some skins. Any questions that you have, let's talk about them now down below. Let's just talk, man. We're gonna go over Dwayne Haskins presser, Ron Rivera's presser also. Just here for the weekly live stream. You know we do this every week, every Thursday at 6 p.m. So let's get it, man. See if the notification went out. Let's wait for a couple people to get in here. Jeremiah 21 Sean was good. Andreas was good. Shout out to the 2 people in the stream, 5 people in the stream. What's up with y'all, man? Make sure you guys share out the stream so we can get more people in here. Comment. We got super chats now. If you feel free to donate, you don't have to. We got the Cash App link in the description. Let's get it, man. Any questions you have about the Redskins regarding the Redskins, DC Sports, fire away right now. It's the best time to reach me. And we're gonna talk about Dwayne Haskins and the presser. Brandon was good, Brandon. Shout out to my boy Brandon. Appreciate that, Aaron. Shout out to Aaron. Let's see. Any questions you guys got about the Redskins? Fire away. I wanted to start by talking about Ron Rivera's presser and then Wayne Haskins presser. And Andreas says he weighed less than Dak by like 10 pounds. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, man, he really should be dominant in the run game now as far as using his feet. We know last year he surprised us really by being able to escape the pocket because we know he ran a 5.4 at the combine, so we thought he was really going to be slow. But he really already surprised us with his mobility and just him, losing all that weight. It's going to make him even more as a dual threat because we know he has the arm talent. The arm talent is clearly there, but him being able to escape the pocket, extend plays with his legs, pick up first downs with his legs is going to make him even more dominant as a quarterback. Says you think the Doug Williams movie will be good? Yeah, I actually just heard about that from Redskins today. I think it actually will be good. More of his career happened in I want to say Washington, but I think he did get drafted by I think it was the Broncos. I could be wrong though. I forgot what team he got drafted by. So it should be good. When being the first quarterback, the black quarterbacks I think to win a Super Bowl. They should cover that. So it really should be good. I'm glad the Redskins are finally getting exposure. We had the Alex Smith story, then we had the Doug Williams story. Redskins finally getting the exposure that they deserve and need. Shout out to my boy Jack Fleming for that question. If you have anything about the Redskins, anything you want to talk about, defense, offense, special teams, whatever, coaching staff, is the perfect time to do it. We do these weekly streams on every Thursday. Oh yeah, shout out to Brandon. The Bucks was the Bucks. I said the Broncos. It's the Bucks. Shout out to my boy Brandon for correcting me. And shout out to my boy Myrick. He says AGG could play tight end. Possibly, but I don't see him playing tight end. I don't think that will be good. He's not as beefy as we need a tight end, and then he will have to learn how to block. And I'm not saying that he's not already a good blocker, but we need him at wide receiver. We know we have Kevin Harmon already. We got Traquan Steve Sims, Terry McLaurin, obviously. But I think AGG is better at wide receiver, and I don't feel comfortable converting him over to tight end, especially this year, considering the fact that everyone is off to a late start. My boy Michael Rodriguez. Shout out to Michael Rodriguez. He says, "What's up, Juan What's up, my man?" Andrea says, "Watch them make a 2020 Redskins movie when we win the Super Bowl." Hey, man, I hope so. That would be great. I hope we make it to the Super Bowl and win it. And man, that would be crazy because a lot of people saying we're not gonna do it, including myself. I mean, I'm being realistic here. Of course, my fandom will say we're gonna win a Super Bowl every year, but me being realistic, I don't see us winning it. But if it happens, oh my lord, I would go crazy, insane. and I'll flip this house upside down. My boy Big Boss Man says won't win the Super Bowl in 2020. Hey, you never know. Crazier things have happened in 2020. Last year before the 49ers even entered the season, people had them going 4 and 12, 3 and 13. What happened? They shocked the world and went to the Super Bowl. Although they did lose, still made it to the Super Bowl. My boy Michael Rodriguez says Xbox or PS4. Does this answer your question? Does this answer your question? I just watched the PS5 trailer. Fortunately, it was none of the games that I play. I'm more of a sports guy, Madden 2K. Play shooters here and there, but not really no more. I haven't played shooters like competitively since PS3, since Black Ops 2, really. So I'm more of a 2K Madden guy. I'll get into shooters here and there, but they didn't show any of the games that I wanted to see. But it looks cool. It looks dope. The PlayStation 5 looks pretty great. So I'm definitely gonna have to cop. He says, you think within a year we'll have a year like the 49ers this year? It's possible. It's possible. And I'm not saying that we will. But like I said, it's possible. It could possibly happen. You never know. Anything can happen. Crazier things have happened, just like the 49ers. And I would not be surprised if we had a season like the 49ers, just considering the fact that we have 5 first-round draft picks like the 49ers. We got a okay quarterback like the 49ers. Jimmy G isn't the best, but he gets the job done. We have a run game similar to the 49ers, how we have 3 dominant running backs, and Adrian Peterson. Darius Geis is dominant when healthy. We're expecting a lot of big things from the speedster Bryce Love, who is hopefully being healthy and ready for week 1. I believe he'll be ready for about week 1. Then we have obviously Antonio Gibson. So I really think we have weapons, and I think I would not be surprised if we had a season like the 49ers this upcoming year. My boy Michael says he hasn't played what do you say shooter since MW3 or Modern Warfare. MW3 was cool. I used to play survival a lot. But I always been a fan of Treyarch making the better Call of Duties. My boy says want to play Madden on PS4. Drop the PSN. Yeah, I got you, Andreas. Let me put that in the comment section right now. Uh, Here go my PSN, Andreas. Just send me a friend request, man, and we can get it going. My boy, Big Boss man says Ruben Foster. Ruben Foster is the key on the defense, and Sadiq Charles is on offense, is the key on the offense. Yeah, I mean, I guess Ruben Foster. You know how dominant he is. I'm just more excited about having him line up next to Sean Dion Hamilton, because we know how great those guys were at Alabama. And I stress this every day. If you don't know how good they were at Alabama, I urge you to go watch their highlights. I mean, their chemistry was just nasty. And having all them Bama boys up front, why not have some on the back with Sean Dion, Reuben Foster, Ryan Anderson? So, I mean, hey, Reuben Foster, it could possibly be the key on the defense if he is ready for week 1. I hope he is. He got stimulus cell surgery, something like that. So he's hopefully he is ready by week 1. I really do think he can be a really good linebacker, Mike or Will at that. And we know how dominant he is. I just put all the off-field issues to the side for a second and just focus on Reuben Foster as a player. We know how dominant he was in San Francisco the beginning of his career, and I think he can really become that in Washington. He says no. He says no. Do you play Modern Warfare? Oh, Modern Warfare. I don't play the Modern Warfare, but I play Warzone here and there. They just got the new update today. I ain't downloaded yet because it's like I didn't have enough space, so I got to delete endless stuff just to download that, and I don't even play it that much to do that. So I'm not gonna do that. My boy Jack Fleming says Sean Davis is a big sleeper this year. I mean, yeah, I guess so. When we first got Sean Davis, a lot of Steelers fans was clowning us for getting Sean Davis and saying that he sucks. But Ron Rivera loves that guy too much. So it's obviously something that he knows about Sean Davis that we don't know about. So hopefully he is going to step up in that role. We know we got Carmen Curl a lot on everybody's forgetting about that we drafted this upcoming year. So maybe we got some safeties. Not no one that's really as good as Landon Collins on to be his partner in crime, but hopefully Sean Davis could become that. You know what I mean? And don't forget, we got the super chats available down below. If you want to, super chat, ask me something on a super chat, or just for donate to be nice, you can do that. You can donate to the Cash App. Link is in the description. Just hey, whatever makes you feel, $1, $100, whatever makes you comfortable. Just do whatever you want to do, and trust me, like I said again, you don't have to, but I'm just putting it out there just to do it. You don't have to, but anything that you send is greatly appreciated. My boy Aaron Lee says, "Do you believe Haskins will improve in Rivera's offense?" Yes, and it's not Rivera's offense. Now and you could possibly say that he's gonna have a say. But Scott Turner's offense, he did have an interview, Dwayne Haskins that is, and he says he hasn't learned the offense fully yet, but he is more comfortable than ever in the Scott Turner's offense because it's more up tempo, and that's how he was at Ohio State, where he was heavily dominant, threw for 50 touchdowns. So I think he will make a big improvement. My boy Michael Rodriguez says we should move Cam Sims to tight end. That's now AGG and Cam Sims. That's a different story. I'm not a fan of moving AGG there because I just see him being so dominant at the wide receiver position when he gets his snaps. But Cam Sims, on the other hand, I could see that, and I would love for Cam Sims to get moved to tight end. Man, he has the speed, he has the height. He's 6'5". Now, if he could put on at least like 10, 20 pounds, maybe of strength, not fat, but 10, 20 pounds, this dude could be really a monster tight end. I really can see it. Catching the balls across the middle. Now he will have to learn how to block, or he'll just be in there for passing situations and not blocking situations. Make sure I get the stream send out, man. Help me out, get more people up in here so we can talk skins, football, DC sports, Nats, Caps, whatever you want to talk about. We can talk about it. So just make sure you guys share out the stream so you get more people in here. And maybe we'll have a special guest next week. Who knows? My boy AM Hunter says, "What's good, Juan G? My battle is in camps: Westmont versus West Schweitzer, Moreland versus Monroe, and AGG versus Kelvin Harmon." Shout out to AM Hunter, probably the biggest supporter that shows support on everyone's channel across the Redskins Nation on YouTube. Yeah, I can't agree with you more. I'm more excited to see just how Morgan Moses, affairs versus Chase Young and Montez Ryan Kerrigan, because it's only going to make him better. But like you said, my camp battles would possibly be the tight end position for me, and then also like you said, the wide receiver position. I just want to see how Terry McLaurin is going to torch the cornerbacks, help them get better. But Moreland versus Monroe for the outside could possibly be a matchup to watch. My boy Michael Rodriguez says Antonio Gibson will be a great Swiss Army knife. Yes. Actually, he will. Line up in the slot, line up and maybe in the outside. He can line up in the backfield and he can run as a running back too. So I look at him envision as a Christian McCaffrey, possibly better, because Christian McCaffrey is somewhat limited in some areas. But Scott Turner said, this is his pick, and obviously he sees something in Scott what's his name, Antonio Gibson. My boy Andrew Oloriso, I think I said that right. And my boy Andrew says, "What's up, Juangotti? This year is about to be fire. Dwayne Haskins, D line, and wide receivers will be proven doubters." Yes, I agree. Now I don't want to be that person to overhype them, because it seems like every time we overhype our team, they do bad. I really want us to do good and go to the playoffs, but if not this year, next year for sure. But man, I really hope it happens, man. I really hope you're right. Shout out to AM Hunter for the $2 donation. He says, "Keep grinding, homie. HTTR for life." Shout out to AM Hunter for the donation, man. The first donor of the night. Once again, if you guys want to donate to the channel, the link is in the description, or you can click the money sign, the super chat sign on the right hand side, or you can donate to my cash app because YouTube takes a percentage of the cut. So if he sends donates like $2, I'm really getting like 90 cents or $1 or something like that. So if you guys want to, donate to the cash app and make me like let me have the full profit to work towards the channel, upgrading the quality of the channel, it will be greatly appreciated. Like I said, once again, you don't have to, but you can if you want. Shout out to AM Hunter for the donation. And if you have any questions about the Redskins, DC sports, whatever, let's get them going. Let's talk about it. I'm here for an hour. We can cover that. We could talk about the pressers that both Ron Rivera and Dwayne Haskins both had. I want to say day before yesterday. Let me take this call, guys. All right, I'm back. I had to take that call. My boy Anthony Metz. Shout out to Anthony Metz. He says, "What's up? Your thoughts on our secondary? Do you think we'll still need to add? Do you think we still need to address it? Of course, I think we need to address it. Our secondary could possibly get better. Possibly the weakest spot on the team could be secondary. Not in my opinion, because like I said in at Oliver's stream, I'm more of a fan of having a dominant defensive end or a dominant D line. And when you have a dominant D line, it only leads to, less pressure on your secondary. So you don't need that Darrell Reeves, Antonio Cromartie connection when you have a fire front seven as do we have here in Washington. So I mean, of course we can improve, especially at the cornerback position and or safety, but I'd rather improve at the cornerback position. But I'm a fan of letting it ride out here now. Everything's not the best. We got Ronald Darby, who is coming off in terrific season. We got Thad Monroe, who had, turned up the last 4 games of the season, who I believe is finally starting to become his second round talent that we got out of UCLA a couple years back. If he can stay healthy and on the field, he'll be really a dominant player. We have Jimmy Moreland, obviously. We have Carmen Curl at the safety, who can also play cornerback. We got Kendall Fuller, who we just paid. So yeah, man, our secondary isn't the best, but it's far the worst position on the team. He says, he says, who will start at left tackle and right tackle? I'm assuming you meant to put right tackle. Left tackle, of course. I'm a fan of putting just throwing them out there. Sadiq Charles. I'm a fan of just letting the young guys play. Just let him go out there and get his feet wet, because the longer you hold him back, although he could possibly be progressing in practice, you're never going to be able to get that game speed. Learn from Dwayne Haskins. He had all the practice in the practice, and although it was with the scout team and not the first team, it's a different tone and setting when you're actually out there in the game time and it's Sunday. Everyone's watching you. So I'm a fan of throwing Sadiq Charles into the fire, letting him get his feet wet so he could be prepared for 2021 season or even later into the season. But we still have Cornelius Lucas, who could play the left tackle and right tackle. But I think he could possibly become a depth role, and that's what we brought him in here to be. 6'8", 6'9". So I mean, he could really be a starter on this team if they don't trust Sadiq Charles. But like Ron Rivera said, we got a ton of young guys here. Let's see what they got first, and then we'll address the position need be when it does go bad. Hopefully it don't go bad, because I really believe that Sadiq Charles could be the next Trent Williams. Not as good as him, but be his replacement. Oh yeah, right tackle. I have obviously Morgan Moses. A lot of people like to poop on Morgan Moses, but it could be worse. It could be worse. Morgan Moses rarely missed games. He's always there. Whether he's 100% or 50%, he's always there and available for the Washington Redskins. I think he played in every game in his career or something like that. So whether, like I said, whether he's 100% or 60, he's always there. So it could be worse at right tackle for the Washington Redskins. But I say give Morgan Moses one more year. If he can stay healthy 100% throughout the whole season. Although he hasn't came off the field, he hasn't been 100%, and you could clearly see it. But yeah, man, maybe kick him in at right guard. But I mean, we got Sheriff right there, so that's just what I was thinking. That a lot of people were saying maybe move him over to the left side, but I'm fine with him at right tackle. He says, "Would you want to go get AB?" No, I don't. Like Ron Rivera said in his interview, he says we got a lot of young pieces. We got a lot of young pieces, and we'll see. And we got to see what we got in those young pieces first before we make any improvements or adding veteran pieces to the team yet. You got to see what we got in Terry McLaurin, Steven Sims. Although we know what they got in the tank, and we know what we can do with Terry McLaurin. Dwayne Haskins called him in his interview today or yesterday rather, that he's the best he's ever seen, and he's been with him since his freshman year of college. So you know what we got in Terry McLaurin and Steven Sims somewhat, but Ron Rivera and the new coaching staff don't. So they got to see what they got in Terry McLaurin, Steve Sims, Kelvin Harmon, AGG, Cam Sims if he makes the roster, Trey Quinn, all those guys first. And then if it doesn't go as planned, then you can go out and get maybe an Antonio Brown. Because, I mean, he didn't defer the question and say no because of the off-field issues. He's just like, let the young guys play. And he says if we go out and get a veteran like an Antonio Brown, that could just start the growth of a young guy that we have on his roster. AM Hunter says Haskins had a great Zoom call with what did I say? It went away. Oh, okay. It says Haskins had a great Zoom call with Julie Donaldson and crew. Sounds mature and professional. Yes, and you could just tell the guy has changed over this course of the year. Man, you can't blame him either. You're a young guy. You just got drafted first round, high first round at that. And you had like that I don't want to say chip on your shoulder because that's not what that was, but he had that swagger, and he had that what's the word I'm looking for here? What is it? I don't want to say show off, but he had bragging rights, I guess you would say, and he just thought he was the stuff. And NFL life reality hit him hard, and I'm glad to see that he's finally adapting to it and taking his job serious. He says, I'm excited to see the young talent on the offense. We have a very bright future. Yes, we do. We have a very bright future. And considering the fact, if we do not have a good season this year, knock on wood, if we don't have a good season this year, I hope for the best that we do. At least Dwayne Haskins at least shows that he will be the future quarterback, so we can go out and get a top pick and possibly get a lineman or something, or another playmaker on the offense, or even another cornerback to add to the piece, because we will have a lot of money in free agency. He says, where does Ryan Anderson fit on our team? Defense this year to me, he's played well in the 3-4, but do you think he'll play as a 4-3 guy? Yes, I do. I think he's a 4-3 guy. You could switch him. You could put him at, I probably would say, defensive end where he'll thrive the best, but you could play him at the Sam linebacker too if you want. Sam and Will is his strong suits in my opinion. But you can also play him at the DN. The DN is where he makes his bread and butter. So I think he will thrive in 4-3. I think everyone in the 4-3 will thrive except for John Boston, because actually I do think John Boston would thrive in the 4-3 because that's what he was used to in Pittsburgh. But he still showed that he could play even in the 3-4. My boy Jack Fleming says we have a ton of cap space next year, and if we use our first round on a secondary player or defense, could be one of the most complete defenses in all of football. Yes, for sure. Either we do that or bring in Jalen Ramsey, but I don't want everyone to just key in on Jalen Ramsey because there's a lot of good corners that could possibly hit the market next year. So everyone keep their eyes open for more than just Jalen Ramsey. My boy Brandon says I want Landon Collins to make it to the Pro Bowl, and I hope he does make it to the Pro Bowl. We know the tackle is going to be there, but the coverage skills got to be there. You got to be able to cover the running backs in the flats. You got to be able to cover the slot wide receivers when need be. You got to be able to cover the tight ends across the middle. We know he can hit. We know he can tackle, but the coverage aspect, you have to get better at Landon Collins, and I believe that he will. He's been working with DeShazer Everett this offseason, so hopefully he's been working on his coverage skills. My boy Michael says 7-9 is my prediction. What is yours? That is the same prediction that I had. 6-10, 7-9. I had us open up the season losing to the Philadelphia Eagles and Cardinals. But of course, I'm not going to root to lose for them. But I'm just saying that's what I had as me being unbiased. But he says Brandon says 6-10. See, we're all around the same page. 7-9, 6-10. That's almost double the wins that you had last year. 7-9, 6-10. You build off that and go into 2021. Fighting for a playoff spot and or Super Bowl contenders. Any questions, like I said, that you guys have, put them in the comment section as we've been doing here so far. Turn on post notifications, subscribe if you're new. As always, if you want to donate to the channel, it's always greatly appreciated. That we got super chats, as my boy AM Hunter did, or we have my Cash App link in the description. So if you guys want me to get the full profit from the donation and not have to have YouTube taking a cut because we know how they do. So yeah, man. Shout out to everyone in the stream. Make sure you guys share out the stream so we can get more people going in the chat. And just know we do this every single Thursday at 6 p.m. So make sure everyone is there. Turn on their post notifications so they get notified when I go live. Any questions you have about the Redskins, Wizards, Caps, or Nets, let's talk about them and discuss them here now. Now next thing I wanted to talk about, like I said, was the pressers that Ron Rivera had, and the one thing that I really want to talk about is how he said we have a ton of young guys here. Let's see what we got in them first, and then we could possibly make a veteran choice if need be. I loved how he said that he supports his players in the kneeling. He doesn't care if they kneel or stand. Not saying he doesn't care in a bad way, but he's like, I'm with my players. If they kneel, they kneel. No punishment or nothing like that. That's a good carriage guy. Dwayne Haskins said that he hasn't made his mind up whether he will stand or kneel for the national anthem. But all of this just shows how we're one unit now. Not everyone is out of the group. And not everyone is north. Another person is west. Another person is south. Another person is east. Everyone's all in the same area, and that really shows how much this team is changing. Last year I don't even think if this thing happened last year with the coronavirus and everything, if this thing would have happened last year under Bruce Allen and all them guys, I don't even think the Washington Redskins would have had an interview, with them because they barely wanted to get in front of the cameras. So yeah, but my boy M Hunter says if we do finish 6-9, 8-8, our defense will be beat up on the opponent big time. What do you think? Oh yeah, definitely for sure. 6-10, 7-9. I wouldn't say 6-10, but 7-9, 8-8 is a possible playoff spot now, considering the fact that there is another playoff team added to the playoff brackets this upcoming year. So possibly that could be the case. Hopefully Chase Young wins Rookie of the Year with everyone's. He's the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, probably other than Isaiah Simmons, or other than Isaiah Simmons. He's the other favorite to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and everyone's keying on him to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. So I hope that comes true. I hope we make it to the playoffs. But other than that, we got to stay composed and stay realistic to what could possibly be the outcome this upcoming year. It says Pete Carroll says Seahawks head coach says he's received a call from another team inquiring about Kaepernick. So Kaepernick might be getting signed. Hopefully he does, man, because he's been blackballed from the NFL for the past couple years, and it's unfortunate. He says, "I am happy that we fired Bruce Allen." Of course, who's not? I mean, you seen how we reacted when we got Bruce Allen up out of there. But yeah, man. Any questions you got, fire them away. Uh, we always come on here and free ball everything. We don't, write anything because that's just not how we are over here on this side. Now, one thing that I did want to talk about was obviously the schedule that everyone was talking about. 7-9, 6-10 is my prediction. I have us starting off losing to the Eagles, losing to the Cardinals. So that's 0-2 right there. Then I have us picking up our first win, I think, against the Browns. I think their team is, very good in a way, but I just think that new coaching staff, Kevin Stefanski, all of those guys over there, just not going to be in sync yet. Obviously they have one of the best football wide receivers, if not the best football wide receiver, in Odell Beckham, and his partner in crime, Jarvis Landry. But I just don't think they'll be in sync by that time. And I think that's the Washington Redskins getting their first win. He says we need to try to get Kevin O'Connell back in the building. No, he actually signed with another former Redskins in Sean McVay with the Rams. So I think those guys will be a good duo for the long run. I don't think he'll be coming back to the Redskins ever. Says, who do you think will sign Colin? Obviously, I don't know. I think every team should be trying to get him on their roster. I think he can still be a starter. I think it's just unfortunate that he really had his career robbed from the NFL for taking a stand. So he's been blackballed by the NFL, and they really should owe that man millions of money, millions of dollars, because we know Colin Kaepernick was at the top of his game, led the 49ers to the Super Bowl, NFC championships, playoffs every year. And he was just blackballed by the NFL. So whoever signs him needs to be on the spot. I think he needs to go to Jacksonville, man, so he can take over from Gardner Minshew. He needs to be a starter somewhere, man. He's too talented, and I think he's really too good to be a backup. But honestly, I don't know who will sign Colin Kaepernick.